Okay, let's take a look at a couple of examples working here from without tracing, just drawing little studies from actual painting. So when you're working with the model, in this case the model is two-dimensional flat painting. You can do the same thing when you're working from life, of course. You have to analyze what the forms are doing, how they are moving in space. So a gesture drawing is not a tracing of the outlines, it's an analysis of the forms moving in space. So you have to think three-dimensionally. You have to think like a sculptor. So what's happening? If I'm looking at this figure here, I can see how very clearly her torso is moving up and curving up and to the left, like so. Often the spine will give you a clue to that. In the front, the linea alba, which is the line that goes down the middle of the torso. So that might be the first thing I would pick out when I'm analyzing this, was this movement here of the torso up and to the left. So you know, I'm not tracing all these little bumps here or the arm either. I'm just looking at the torso and how it's moving. So let's say on this side, I'm just going to do a little, move this over a little bit. I'm just going to do a little curve up, but then on the other side, it's going to be quite a long sweep from her bottom here. Let's say this is going to be the drape up to the shoulders. Okay, the shoulders are like this, just blocking them in. So that's showing me this curve up. You really have to accentuate the gesture a lot at this stage to show that, okay? Now this arm, I have to put it in, it's there, so let's put it in just like so. Again, the overlap is important. Let's block in the head, just to show the front of the head, the top of the head, some of the back. It doesn't have to be too detailed. Okay. Then as this comes down here, we have the hips inserting and they're curving back like so. All right, for that leg. Can you see that curving back through there? So in this case, the outline is kind of conforming to the gesture, but not always. Oftentimes the bulk here, the biceps femoris muscle, you can see it here, will hang down and show a different outline. But again, the form is moving like this. So here at the hips, I'm going to show a nice big curve down like so. So here, bottom is here. Let's put in a bit more of the drape. And in the back of the leg, same thing. I'm going to show that's curving like so. Okay. Now the bottom half of the leg, what's happening? Well, you could argue that you could have this curving all the way down and through. So as much as possible, we want to have flow-through lines. We want to have as many curving flow-through lines, or sorry, gesture lines flowing through the figure to connect these things up. So let's do that. Let's just continue this nice C curve right down to the foot. Okay, then we'll block in the foot here, the bottom of the foot, the back of the foot, the front, some toes. So these are just placement marks, okay? No details. How about the back of the leg? You could probably just get away with doing the same kind of C curve. I like to actually, if I can, throw in a bit of an S curve on the back of the leg, because actually oftentimes gives a nice counterpoint to the C curves. And you can include the back of the heel a little bit too. So in this case, yeah, I'm actually looking a bit at the outline and helping me describe the form, make things a little more interesting in the design aspect. So there's a nice C curve like that, okay? Okay, so how about this leg now here? Well, you can pretty clearly see that it's curving like this, so I'm just going to go ahead and put my let's move this line over a little bit, put my two C curves here. And then block in the the foot. All right, so what's missing here? Let's erase this a little bit here. Now I want to make sure I've got these overlaps so that I know that this is not an outline, it's just a placement. I have this arm here coming down to the wrist, so again, it looks just like one nice big C curve. It's kind of down, somewhere down through here, the hand is. I'm not too worried with this sketch about the exact proportions. I'm just doing a study. Okay. Oftentimes I'll put these little marks here just to show that there's a bluntness there to the form. Okay, so it would be an analysis of the gesture of this form. So I'm using really just 3 types of line. Straight, okay, C curves, and S curves. All right. If I get into something that's more than an S curve, then it loses some of the strength of the drawing. So it's got to be a combination of those 3. Okay.